are live.
We'll do it motherfucking live. Do it live.
All right.
Right.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Fair Enough podcast.
Bo, honey. What's up, Bo?
Hello.
What you been up to, man?
We got a new atmosphere today.
Yeah, we're doing outside tonight.
That's right.
You know, we got some
We're gonna switch
renovations
it up.
going on.
Renovation. The office is being renovated.
Businessman, business plans.
We
you know?
also have Chief with us today.
We got Big Chief Baby Watch over
Chief.
here.
Come here. Yeah, he's not going to do it right now. It's all good. Well,
Chief the young bull.
it is a beautiful night in Las Vegas.
It sure the fuck is, man.
It's
How the hell are you?
It's a cool, I don't know, 90 degrees.
Right. Chilly 95 degrees.
Yeah. Just the perfect temperature to incubate the baby.
Starting off hot, huh?
I'm
We're going all the way with it.
just tossing things around. Oh, now he wants to say
Now
hi.
he wants to say hi.
All right. Get on camera. Say hi to everybody, Chief. This is the leader of the podcast.
Oh yeah. Leader of the free
He
world.
tells us what the information is that we're going to share with everybody.
Mhm.
You can sit here, but you got to chill. All right. Today we got no shortage of
Bullshit.
news and WTFs and another day in the life of a... Are we millennials?
Yes. We
Of a
definitely are.
millennial in 2022.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's start it off hot, man. YG and Tyga dress in drag for a new video,
Which is just right on par.
which is not something I thought I would ever say.
Yeah, so in this what seems to be a hip hop entertainment article, they talk about how this is not the first time we've seen rappers in drag. In fact, Young Thug and Kid Cudi have worn dresses, which we saw. I mean, I saw Kid Cudi for sure. I didn't know.
For
Young Thug
sure.
was
Well,
wearing-
yeah, remember Young Thug had that album cover where he had like an umbrella?
Oh,
he was
right,
wearing a
right,
dress?
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course they quote the movie White Chicks, which is a hilarious movie. I love White Chicks. I thought
Yeah,
it was-
it's a classic.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was also done before this culture, I feel like.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I mean, for the purpose of what they did with it, like, I don't have an issue with it. Like, yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd see YG of all people dressed like white chicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody that portrays themselves to be a real hard-nosed guy,
Yeah,
and then you're a female.
definitely
in a
threw me
Ferrari.
off. But I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess the good thing is that they didn't try to be themselves mixed with it. It's like a complete prosthetic face.
Meaning like they didn't,
you would
they
never
were wearing a
recognize
mask.
them.
Is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly. It's almost like a Halloween costume more than it is.
Right. Well, they did it for the video. So
Right.
The video was them robbing a bank dressed as white ladies.
Right.
Which I mean, like, it makes sense, but it was just kind of weird seeing it. But I mean, do you really have like any type of issue with it? I don't really give a fuck.
I think it's more fodder for a sign of the times type thing.
Well, then what was white
like
chicks?
they mention it. Well, so the unhappiness comes from actually they're actually even turning it into a black thing that black entertainers are.
Oh, black men in dresses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been saying that shit for 30 years.
Right. Well, and it's been done by other gender or other colors as well. Kurt Cobain was in a dress during a performance for Nirvana, and that was in the 90s.
That's kind of. I mean, I guess it's always been kind of a white thing because like we've always had, like, white guys kind of play like that. They play more gay games and like that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently now it's everybody's in this game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really like a. I don't know. I thought Big Mama's House was funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Big
I mean,
Mama's House was
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get what they're saying. Like Tyler Perry, I think he might.
Yeah, but
like it a
don't
little
you think
too
there's
much.
don't you think there's a difference between doing it in that format versus a drag format? Like being a drag queen, especially with the
I mean,
current
well, yeah.
current like spectacle. of
Are you
drag
saying like they're
queens.
like drag queens? Is that what
Well,
you're-
that's what they're saying. It's more than just being dressed as a woman. It's like a drag. It's a specific style. Is drag, which is like if you go to a drag bar, which is
right. So they did it because they shot a music video
right.
while they were in drag, or
Yeah, yeah.
call it whatever you want, and they did it. They went to rob a bank as white ladies. Like, okay,
Right.
that
Yeah.
makes sense
Oh,
to me.
yeah, definitely.
They're not
But
just
I
doing
guess
it
it's
just to do it.
To me, it feels different than like, let's say in the Nutty Professor, he plays all these
plays-
characters, which
yeah.
happens to also be females.
Yeah.
Big Mama's House, he's undercover.
Yeah.
Like I get, and I guess it's just, I would almost have more respect for them if it was
funny.
for a movie rather than a music video. It just seems like such a small time thing to like do something this drastic with.
You think?
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, we're sitting here talking about it, so I guess it's doing its job as well, because ultimately what you want is views, right? So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
so it is, it's effective, and I'm assuming that the artistic mind behind this knew the kind of flare up that this would cause.
Yeah.
and they they played off of that.
yeah, because they're saying here that it's feminizing men and like are they going
Right.
that over? I mean, I don't see that. I mean, it's not like they did it just to do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't think anybody's gonna go up to YG and call him feminine. You know, like that was gonna beat somebody's ass. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, his track record proves it. You know, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's,
I don't know. Like I said, I don't see any issue with
Well,
it.
and this is supposedly not anything new for Tyga, right? So he's already been
Well, yeah, Tyga had a fiasco a while back.
with his tranny relationships, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been confirmed though.
I don't actually know either. I remember it being a big thing. I don't think it was denied, but I don't think it was confirmed. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you have no shortage of these interesting characters doing and saying different things. There was I just blanked on his name. Kevin Gates.
Oh yeah, that guy over here talking about drinking piss. I would drink Beyonce's piss. Is that what he
Beyonce's
said?
Piss,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't think that.
I'd much rather be YG and Tyga than Kevin Gates right now.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
think-
sure.
Yeah, the only difference is YG and Tyga actually did that. Kevin Gates is just talking theoretically, but I know what you're saying. And
I wouldn't even say that about anybody.
right, and that's the thing. He tried to spin it off as this, she's the most attractive woman in the world. Which
She's
even
not, but-
even if you say she is, so I don't know that equates to me wanting to drink
No.
her piss. And I understand what his point was, to try to show that she's like this many levels above everybody.
No, but she's not.
But-
That's just some wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
He's obviously got an affinity for that. Maybe he has a fetish. Man.
But he was the one talking about eating booty, and remember that a while back?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
going off for like 3 minutes about eating
Yeah, so
ass.
he's probably already fetishized like the whole urine thing, and maybe this is just like a day in the park of
A day in the
Kevin,
life.
Kevin Gates.
Just signs up to get pissed on and shit.
Yeah, he's
Hell no.
it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, that's a different stroke for sure. Would you ever get pissed on, bro?
No, absolutely not.
You ever pee on a girl?
I don't think so. I don't think I'd be capable of doing it. Because you'd have to be able to like need to go pee first.
Well, okay, fine. Yeah.
Imagine you're just like waiting and like all right, not right now.
It'll be here.
We'll wait until I have to go, and then I don't need a toilet. I just need you.
Just stand right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that there's got to be some trigger of pleasure or power or whatever in the brain of people that are into it, but I've just never been.
Yeah, definitely power.
Yeah.
It's definitely a power play.
It's crazy because it's like it's the waste of your body. It's literally what it's like what your body didn't want more than anything, and you're like putting it on somebody else. So it's got to be a power thing.
Yeah, I mean
It's borderline not borderline. It is disrespectful.
not if it's all agreed upon.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing is I feel like there's people that agree upon things that are disrespectful to themselves. Just
I.e.
because-
Kevin Gates.
Right. Exactly.
Drinking piss.
Yeah. So he's it's so interesting because these guys portray themselves so differently as rappers than when they're talking on a podcast, and then
Yeah,
all of a
I mean,
sudden-
I don't know if it's a different type of portrayal. I mean, I think they are who they are.
Do
Because
you
I
think
mean,
so?
I mean,
Like
Who specifically?
I'm trying to remember. There was a producer that was talking about the rappers that he would sign,
Mhm.
and he said he would tell them that you are getting signed as X name, and that's who you are to everybody, but not to lose who you are as a person separate from that character that you
Yeah.
are being signed and I'm producing.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
there is a character.
it depends on the rapper.
Also,
I mean,
that,
I
yes,
think
I agree with that.
if you look at YG's story, you know, he's really from where he's from. He's really done things.
That's crazy.
He's been shot.
I'm from
You know what I mean?
Wilmington too.
Well, okay, well, I'm not gonna shout out the gang. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
Well, I don't know what gang you're from.
Yeah.
But
I wish I was quick on the draw with a gang name.
the white gang,
That's too generic.
white gang,
The Hebrew Hammers. The
white gang.
Answer me what's.
But you know what I'm saying? Like these
Yeah.
guys, like they're definitely official. At least they were at one point. I don't know about now.
Right.
And Kevin Gates is a wild boy. He's done a lot of crazy shit. He's been to prison. You know what I mean?
Now he's wearing feathers in his hair and talking about drinking Beyonce's piss.
Yeah, I mean they all go through transitions, I guess.
That's true.
I fucking know.
Talk to Tiger about
I think it comes down to like having just too much sex. Like there has to be a thing with too much sex.
I
Like, you just
believe it.
fuck every chick. You know, you fuck thousands and thousands of women, and then nothing is exciting
You
anymore.
just can't get excited anymore.
It's the same shit with R. Kelly. He was peeing on people too.
That's true.
And young people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I'll start peeing on people now.
You never peed. Oh wow. You gotta step it up, G.
Yeah. I guess I'm just too small time.
You just gotta get
No,
there.
but that's a lot of what people say as far as you know, like the sex trafficking rings and the pedophilia. It's like these people, these elites that get to a point where they've just nothing entertains them
Yeah.
anymore, and they need something so dangerous and so
It's just
taboo
yeah.
that it's just it's the only thing. It's the eyes wide shut.
Yeah,
Right?
that's too rich. You're too rich if that's what you're
Yeah.
having to go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or you just, I mean,
Or you're just a
I feel like
fucked
if
up
I was
person,
if
honestly.
I had that much money, I would have enough things that I'm trying to get done outside.
Yeah, but
of,
you weren't born with it. You know what I mean? You
That's
didn't have it
true.
your whole life.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think most of them were, right? Most of them
We're
were
talking
born-
elites, powerful families.
Well,
I mean,
not the top six, but like let's say.
Well, I mean, there's
let's
plenty
say
of powerful families.
let's say not billionaires, but multi-millionaires.
What's the fucking difference? I mean, in
A
style of
huge
living.
difference.
Not necessarily,
So-
bro. I mean, what more can you buy? Like, if you have $800 million versus 40 billion,
800 million is.
it's the same thing almost. You know what I
I
mean?
disagree completely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
I think the difference between that number, if you were to like separate it in boxes or something so you can visualize it,
Mhm.
I think the
Yeah, well,
visual it's an
I know it's
an
not the
entirely
same amount of money.
different-
I know
right.
that. But I mean,
more
that
than-
level of wealth, they're very, very comparable.
Um,
Because, like,
more comparable than somebody that's making like six figures, yes.
no.
But like if you take
At a certain
if you
point,
take,
what does money do for you?
Well, it all depends on the type of person you
You're getting too technical. I'm saying that somebody that has $800 million versus somebody that has, let's not say 40, let's say $2 billion. It's a comparable level of wealth to where they're going to be able to do the same things. They're going to be at the same places. They're going to know the same people more often than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
lifestyle
I
isn't
mean,
going to be that much
800
different.
million is very close to a billion.
500 million. But you know what I'm saying? Once
But
you hit
when
a
I
certain
meant
level,
multi,
it
I
doesn't
meant
matter.
Like if you have 25 million, you're not at the level of a billionaire. You won't be in the same. And 25 million, I mean, that's not a small.
No,
Easy
no, no.
money.
I mean, you're getting there. You're almost. I mean,
You are.
what more can you not buy if you have 25 million? You probably finance that bitch.
Finance options.
Drop a couple mil down.
Actually, no. You can. There are islands that you can get for like, reasonable prices.
That's what I'm saying. You could definitely beat a billionaire if you have 25 million.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
just
mean?
don't know if you run in the same circles necessarily.
Right, but the higher up you go, the less of a difference it makes. That's the point I was making.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was gonna say something.
I mean, I guess if you look at the people on like Epstein's guest list, you would have a variety.
Powerful families. And I'm
Yeah,
sure not all of
and
them
then all
are
the way down to
worth
like,
tens of billions.
like actors, right? Which are obviously not worth billions.
Right.
So yeah, I guess. I guess that's a high enough level for those types of people that need to get like real freaky. They're that's enough wealth.
And there's
to get to
motherfuckers that are poor that are getting freaky intense, doing crazy
That's
shit,
also
going to
true.
these
Yeah.
sex shops out here. And, you know, you ever heard of there's
I don't
a
understand how sex shops in Vegas stay in business.
I've heard some stories, but no, I mean, there's a spot
Do
over there,
tell.
over on Boulder Highway. I picked a guy up there when I was Uber driving. He was said that that they have a theater, like an actual like movie theater, a porn theater, and some dude was up there with this chick, and he was basically selling her. He was like, hey, who wants to have a round
In the theater?
In the theater.
Nice.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of just random dudes. I mean, the kind of people that would go to a sex
So
theater.
it's like his place
on
of
Boulder
work,
Highway.
basically. It's like an indoor pimping.
Yeah, and they were just fucking him. And it wasn't for like, I don't even think it was for money, honestly. Like, I think
Just
it was
for-
just for
for
free.
kink.
But that's what I'm saying, like, it's
Oh,
it's a
man.
crazy world, man.
So wait, is this part of the theory of how you think that they stay in business, or is it like?
Well, I'm just elaborating.
No,
on
I'm
a
just
broader
I'm
point.
wondering because now I'm curious about what is it that you think.
I think they stay in business by having jerk off booths. I think that's what
just a bunch of
the video arcades or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
That's
that shit ain't
wild
free.
That in 2022, there's still people that are doing that when there's the internet.
And I'm
there's- I mean,
sure they're selling pussy. I can
Yeah.
almost guarantee they're selling pussy.
yeah,
on some level.
probably
Selling $20 blowjobs, mixed with some DVDs and some dildo. Like, where else gonna buy
Right.
a dildo that's
Yeah, I
like
guess.
14 inches long
Yeah,
and shaped like Shrek's dick or something? You know what I mean?
I've been looking for one of
You
those.
need to have that shit curated for you.
I need a custom-made
You
Shrek.
need a custom-made
fist.
unicorn horn.
Do you have a baby seal?
I need the flare out.
Surround-
Baby seal. Fuck.
Need something real endangered.
Dildo the shape of a dog's leg.
Just this bald eagle. This-
One of those
Just
owls
the
that you
hook
put
at
on
the end. Really gets you.
Football with a handle.
Right. Wow. Well, since we're talking about all the acts of sex other than what's created, I guess we should transition into the biggest
Seamless.
news, the biggest news of the day.
No one will notice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's just today is it's a huge day.
Today is a wild
Uh,
one,
it's-
for sure.
It's been 50 years that Roe v. Wade has been enacted, in my opinion, unconstitutionally, and now it's been revoked.
What? You have an
Yeah.
opinion?
It's shocking, I know.
Holy shit.
But I guess we should do a quick and dirty rundown.
We should break it down just a little bit.
Okay, I love this. This is the best thing. So I needed some source, right? And I go with the New York Times. And ending constitutional right to abortion, Supreme Court reshapes U.S. politics.
How do you get the headline wrong?
Exactly. That's
That's crazy.
Constitutional right, it is not, and that's why the result was the result. The ruling eliminating the constitutional right to abortion after almost 50 years was met with celebration and anger across the country. President Biden, that sock puppet, called the court's action the realization of an extreme ideology. It's funny because they pump these people up and then they wonder why all this violence gets sparked. I think, was it him that said they're going to be looking to overturn it, which I don't think they're
know.
able to.
Well,
they were
went all the way to
discussing-
the Supreme Court.
Right,
so-
and they were discussing that the way that they could circumvent that is to make it a federal law, but that still wouldn't supersede the decision.
Because you can't go further than the Constitution.
Right, and nowhere in the Constitution does it ever mention anything about a right to an abortion. The way that they have made the loophole into it is the right to privacy as a human, and that's how they originally.
Is that how Roe v. Wade initially?
It was like
got passed?
how they formed it, yeah. And so yeah, that's been revoked. So, and of course, social media lights up with how women won't be able to have an abortion, and every outlier situation of a septic uterus, and all these things that could go wrong
The
that
shit that
require an
already
abortion.
happens. Yeah.
Right, and that's the focus when Roe v. Wade is actually just about it being the state's right to choose rather than
Yeah,
a
it just
federal
gives
law,
power back to the states, right? Overturning Roe v. Wade, yeah.
Yep.
Which, I mean,
which should have been in the first place.
that's basically how everything else runs, except for the real major shit. you know?
Yeah, it's how everything should be ran.
That's how it was intended to be run.
Right. Yeah. So instead of it being an old constitution that's outdated, it's actually just they need to pay attention to what the purpose that it was written the way it was written was.
Yeah, I mean, on most things, I agree with you, and I can't think of anything I don't. I'm sure there's something, but yeah, I mean, the Constitution is, I mean, it's really our saving grace as a nation, because without it, I think we'd be a lot more just
It all
fucked
falls
off,
apart.
you know?
We turn into Canada, or we turn into Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're that nice of a place. I think we turn into like Brazil.
Oh, it would
Mexico.
get darker, but
I think we'd be a lot worse of a country. We definitely wouldn't have been made it to the level we made it without it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So yeah, this is gonna obviously spark protests and most likely riots.
They're already protesting, huh?
Yeah. There's already Antifa attacking certain like pro-lifer people.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did hear about some places being firebombed, like some churches.
Oh, it was like not pro-life, but I mean they are pro-life, but it was like a pregnancy clinic or something like that. Yeah. But no, like today, there's already been, because there was the pro-life people waiting the decision, and then obviously there was the pro-abortion.
Oh, everybody, yeah.
Which is.
Well, let me ask you this: what is your stance on abortion? Your personal stance on abortion?
My personal stance is I choose to basically make a deal with the devil. I believe that it is wrong, and I do think that you're taking a life, but I think that where we're at as a society and the argument's never going to be solved of where life begins, because if you look at biology, they say it's immediately, and everybody else, exactly, and we go round and round in circles. So for me, I think the meeting in the middle is first trimester. I think that in that first trimester, you have to have it done by then. If not, then you have to.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, is it the greatest thing to deal with? No, but you do have options of putting that baby up for adoption.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there's no shortage of women that have wanted to abort and then chose not to, and been very, very happy about the decision to continue to follow through with it, and they end up keeping that kid.
What was it, Kanye West? He was supposed to be aborted.
Yeah, I think, yep.
Which, despite how you feel about him, he's done monumental things in this world.
Yeah.
More than most of us could ever even dream of doing.
He'll be in history books as an artist, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, who else? Isn't Kobe? I may have
I just know that it's not, it's not black and white. It's a complicated issue.
No, it's definitely not.
And I think that that's the fairest meeting in the middle. And the idea that it's all about my body, my choice, and no preaching of responsibility of
who you fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like should you have sex, or should you use Plan B if you've already done that, or there's definitely ways to like avoid this larger issue.
Yeah.
And it's just it shouldn't be used as birth control. That's how I look at it. Should it be used if the mom's life is at risk, if she's been raped, all these offhand situations? Yeah, I understand it, but I don't think that should be your Plan C. that's which is basically what it is for a lot of these women. There's women literally in these protests and parades that are like, I've had 13 abortions, as if it's like,
I don't know,
wearing
something to be proud of. Yeah, I don't. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, your moral compass is way off if you've had 13 abortions. That's not even.
It's so depressing, because I know people personally that have wanted nothing more than to create a child, and they can't. But then these random crackheads that just pop out kids, they'll pop out kids like it's nothing. And
13 abortions?
Yeah, it was definitely double digits, whatever she said.
That's crazy.
Maybe it was 11. But, I mean,
what's the fucking difference?
Anything more than one seems like an extreme. Like, one, I can give you the benefit of the doubt that something happened. But
I don't know why you would be proud of that. Yeah, like, what would be the male equivalent?
I think
I have 13 kids I don't take care of.
It's a personality trait. That's what it is.
You think so?
I think it's the same as a.
I bet you that person's a fucking lunatic. Like, there's no way that.
They can't be mentally stable. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, there's probably a broken home in their past, if not present.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think in the absence of religion for a lot of these far left type thinking people,
And right.
and yeah, and right as well, it becomes that becomes their belief system is these abortion, climate change, these extreme ideas.
All that fall all fall under the umbrella of liberalism.
Right. Yeah. And then, yeah. I mean, we're gonna see what happens, but then you have she's the Democratic representative, one of Maxine Waters in California.
Nancy Maxine?
Yeah, she's the one that said that they're gonna not stop until, or if anybody, how did she word it? She was like, you push up on them if anybody's, I think, against the BLM. It was during the BLM riots.
Oh, wasn't she like calling for people to go into their
calling for
homes and
violence?
shit?
Yep.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then now she's saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. Women are going to control their bodies no matter how they try and stop us. The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them. Women will be in control of their bodies, and if they think black women are intimidated or afraid, they got another thing coming.
Yeah,
Black women will be out in droves. We will be out in the thousands. We'll be out in the millions. We are going to make sure the fight for the right to control our own bodies. And then they're going to all shuffle in for a January 6th hearing where they're going to talk about instigating violence on the Capitol building while she's standing outside basically parading the idea of fighting this decision.
Right.
So
they're still on that January 6th shit?
Oh yeah, that's actually just recently. I think they said that troves of evidence have started to pour in about brave people that decided that they're no longer going to stay quiet. So this has been so it's
a whole trove. Huh?
Yeah, it's funny because it's the same people that did this with the Russia collusion thing with Trump. It's like Adam Schiff sitting there like, there's just so much evidence coming in.
Where is it?
Exactly. It's just.
You think it came out by now?
It's the never-ending story.
What about all the evidence that Trump? They had a video that Trump may or may not have said the N-word.
Yeah.
That never came
right.
out.
May or may not.
May or may not.
Yeah. Just like the video of Trump.
It may or may not be true.
Another guy that supposedly pissed on Russian prostitutes.
That would never happen.
Right.
I would be
He's
surprised. And even if he did, he gives a fuck.
Right. It was actually Kevin Gates waiting to.
It was actually Kevin Gates.
Plot twist.
Kevin Gates was the witness.
The recording witness.
It's like, man, I was just waiting to eat some booty.
Right. Trump had that booty. I saw him.
Oh,
I seen him on that golf course.
That boy Trump, thick.
Talk about a hole in one. Yeah. That's
sink this line drive.
Yeah, it's we'll get to see what happens. I know that they're already boarding up stores.
Ain't shit gonna happen, bro. They're gonna throw some rocks and talk a bunch of shit and then go about their business, just like everything else in this world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's it's
nobody's still protesting George Floyd. You know what I mean?
That's true. They're just very well funded by people that want to watch everything for him. That's the problem. People like George Soros that have just endless money to put towards these things.
Yeah.
And they definitely know how to rile these crowds up of very misled people. That's what it is.
It's not easy to get sheep to move, you know. I mean, it's not hard, rather.
Right. Yeah. Just gotta get a good herder. And that's, I mean, basically what Antifa is in a lot of ways. They just kind of instigate enough to where people.
I didn't even know they were still relevant.
Yeah, no, they're still right, and they're not just relevant in America. They're funded abroad.
Now in Europe, I can see.
Yeah, there's German Antifa. There's France has Antifa.
But those were their bitches.
Yeah, yeah. They're disruptors, you know. And
yeah, I mean they're kind of like what are they called in the clubs? Atmosphere models. Yeah. Like they just show up just to get everybody worked up and then kind of just fade away in the back.
Rile everybody up.
You know, and then kind of just blend in.
Mm-hmm. And then what was it that? Yeah, I can't remember. There's something to do with Antifa, but I lost it. But as long as it doesn't end up on our front doorstep. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is that when you said they're all bitches, it's like. The most dangerous people are the weakest people.
Yeah,
so it's kind of unpredictable.
Yeah.
And And I'm not really so much worried about all these like rioting things. It's like, at what point do they start placing explosives or like, something more terroristic, and that's when it really is gonna hit home for people, where they're gonna like, we're already getting more and more enclosed in our homes, and these type of things definitely.
Yeah, if they start blowing shit up, then I don't think people could ignore the fact that they exist.
Well, supposedly on January 6th, there was supposedly explosives placed.
Where?
Still to this day, there's no footage. Nobody's talked about it.
They didn't go off?
They just reported no.
Where would they place them?
Near the Capitol building. Again, nobody. It's just. It was written. It was put
Sounds-
out there to scare everybody. And
sounds
then
like some
there's
bullshit.
Yeah, and there's no evidence of it. And
We found dynamite.
Right.
We found live
There's
grenades.
a guy with a curly mustache running away from with the wick.
I seen a coyote. Right?
Wiley.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that. I think a lot of, like I said, man, I think a lot of this shit's bullshit. Honestly, I don't
Just
think.
like to cause panic.
Yeah. And that's coming. I don't watch it. You know what I mean? I'm not involved in it like all day. So
Right.
I just hear like little tidbits. I kind of put the rest together. Man, that's probably some bullshit.
Yeah, it's there's certain triggers for people in my social media that don't typically post, and the whole
Big
abortion
events like
thing
that.
is
Yeah.
whew, they love to get worked up about that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse, but like it's just an opinion at this point. Like you can't tell anybody the right or wrong about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the nuance that everybody seems to just gloss over is that you're talking about somebody's life,
Yeah.
And
But I mean, it's not like they don't have a host of arguments prepared to counter your argument that it's a life. You know what I mean? That's why it's so divisive.
Yeah.
That's why people use it, because it fucking works.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
The logic it could go either way.
their
you know?
argument would definitely be helped if it wasn't for the fact that when a pregnant woman is murdered, it's considered a double homicide if she's carrying a baby.
Mhm.
Yeah. So